It's pretty clear that Liverpool's academy was the unsung hero of Jurgen Klopp's final season at Anfield, wouldn't you agree? Players like Kelleher, Conor Bradley, João Quansah, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott and many others really stepped up when it mattered most, helping the team to snatch the EFL Cup. And they didn't just stop there. These young stars shone brightly even when key players were sidelined, keeping Liverpool in the hunt for the Premier League title until the final few games. Now, should Reds fans be taken aback by the talent sprouting from their youth ranks? Well, it's a mix of yes and no. Why? It's because before this £300 million talent pool came to the fore, the academy seemed cursed, mirroring some of the darkest days in Liverpool's Premier League history, a time when the club was far from competitive. The X factor was truly gone. So to really understand this curse, we need to rewind to the golden years. Let us tell you a tale. There was a time when the academy didn't just produce match winners, but players who could literally win you titles. So hear us out. Even though the doors officially opened in 1998, the youth system was already overflowing with talent long before. In 1988, scout Jim Aspinall and manager Kenny Dalglish signed a 16-year-old Everton fan to a schoolboy contract and a 2-year apprenticeship, introducing him to Liverpool's youth scheme. The young boy was none other than Steve McManaman, Macca as he was later called by the Red supporters. He was known for his athletic prowess, which quickly got him involved with the first team. He made his first appearance as a substitute against Sheffield United in December 1990, right after playing for England's under-21 team, a rare feat since he hadn't yet debuted in the first team. After Kenny Dalglish replaced Graham Souness as manager a year later, Macca got his full debut against Oldham Athletic. The Guardian commented that the 19-year-old ran his feet to the ground all day, which says a lot about the kind of player he was. Even during Liverpool's tough early 90s, McManaman didn't want to just sit back. In the 1992 FA Cup final, he was the youngest player on the pitch and earned the Man of the Match award for setting up the winning goal. 3 years later, he was the Man of the Match again in another final, this time scoring both goals to win the League Cup against Bolton Wanderers. His performance was so memorable, the fans named the match the McManaman Final. It was simple. McManaman really had the X factor. His dribbling, the constant threat he posed to opponents wasn't just thrilling to watch, but also extremely effective. Macca's time at Anfield wrapped up in 1999 after he signed a pre-contract to join Real Madrid. And who could forget that stunning volley he scored in the 2000 Champions League final, helping Real Madrid securing the title with a 3-0 victory. Now hold on a minute. Did we mention that while McManaman was shining at Liverpool, another academy star was making his mark on the field? And funnily enough, he was also another Everton fan growing up. Back in the summer of 1991, a young Robbie Fowler joined the Reds as a youth player, and by the next year he had signed his first professional contract. In 1993, he made his professional debut, scoring a double against Fulham in the League Cup. Impressive, right? But that's just the beginning. In the second leg, in only his 5th appearance for the first team, Fowler led Liverpool to a 5-0 victory. No, seriously, he literally led the club to a 5-0 victory because he scored all 5 goals himself. While you might think that would be the peak of Fowler's career, there was even more to come. In 1994, he set a record for the league's fastest hat-trick, netting 3 goals against Arsenal in just 4 minutes and 33 seconds. The following year, he stunned Old Trafford with a brace, and in 2001, he scored a crucial goal in the UEFA Cup final, a nail-biting match that saw the Reds triumph 5-4 over Alaves. After scoring 183 goals and providing 50 assists for the Reds, Fowler left Liverpool in 2001. True, he did make a comeback to Anfield in 2006, but it was an initial stint that truly solidified his status as a club legend, a journey that began right in the academy. In fact, 2001 was a standout year for him as he scooped up 4 of his 5 major trophies with the club, including his second League Cup and FA Cup. Speaking of the 2001 FA Cup win, let's talk about another standout, one who wasn't just a prolific goalscorer, but a literal Ballon d'Or contender, Michael Owen. The 2001 FA Cup that Fowler added to his collection, that was thanks in no small part to Michael Owen. From as young as 12, Michael Owen was turning heads while playing for his school team, drawing interest from top clubs like Manchester United and Chelsea. But it was Steve Hayway, Liverpool's youth development officer, who made a personal appeal to Owen, leading him to join the Reds youth setup in 1991. There he stood out and even amongst the older players. By the age of 17, Owen signed his first professional contract, and in 1997 he debuted for Liverpool's senior team, scoring in his very first game. And, so they say, the rest is history. Owen's heroics include a dramatic late double that clinched the FA Cup against Arsenal in 2001, contributing 4 goals during Liverpool's journey to the UEFA Cup final, including the 2 assists he provided in the final. And to top it all off, he won the 2001 Ballon d'Or, beating legends like Raul, Beckham, Totti and Figo. Truly, Owen was in a league of his own. We know that he may have marred his legacy with a later move to Manchester United, but the 158 goals he netted for Liverpool and the way he slipped past defenders are undeniable proof of him having that X factor. Now remember, we mentioned that the 1995 League Cup final was dubbed the McManaman final. Well, he is not the only Liverpool player to have had a match named after him. Yes, we're talking about Steven Gerrard. He needs no introduction really. Well, Stevie joined the youth setup back in 1987, earlier than all the players we've discussed, but he didn't make his professional debut until 1998, and what a legend he became at this club. Some might point out that he never won the Premier League, but who can forget his crucial goal during that night in Istanbul? If it hadn't been for Gerrard's header, the Reds might never have staged one of the most astonishing comebacks in football history. His goal ignited the spark Liverpool needed to fight back and hang on for the rest of the match. But Istanbul wasn't the only time Gerrard carried his team to glory. There's also the Gerrard final, otherwise known as the 2006 FA Cup final. Gerrard was instrumental, scoring twice, including a dramatic late equaliser from a long range that made it 3-3, pushing the match to penalties where Liverpool ultimately triumphed. With 186 goals and 155 assists in over 700 appearances, remember, we're talking about a midfielder here. His longevity and the consistent high quality of his performances, especially in clutch moments, are truly the stuff of legend. All of these players joined the youth squad, developed and made the first team debuts within a decade. They all possessed the X factor and had the ability to win titles almost single-handedly. However, after Gerrard, it seemed as though the academy stopped producing such standout talents, coinciding with some of the club's least successful years. Don't get us wrong, the talent was there and players were regularly promoted to the first team to prove themselves, but results were underwhelming. In the 2000s, players like Stephen Warnock, Emiliano Insua and Jay Spearing made the leap to the senior squad, but ultimately failed to make a significant impact. Then came the 2010s, a decade marked by players like Suso, Jordan Ibe, Shea Ojo, all touted as the next big things. Unfortunately, they too gradually disappeared from the spotlight without leaving much of a mark on the first team. Even those who became regulars during this seemed to be caught up in the same curse. Take John Flanagan for example. The young right-back debuted against Manchester City in 2011, playing the full 90 minutes in a 3-0 win. He was a key player during the 2013-14 title challenge, appearing in 23 games and even filling in as a left-back. However, his promising career was derailed by injuries, leading to just 9 more appearances before he left the club as a free agent back in 2018. Sure, he was certainly effective during one campaign, but it's also fair to say he lacked anything special. After Gerrard, the only academy product who truly had the X factor was Raheem Sterling. Though originally from QPR's youth system, Sterling was finally honed in the Liverpool under-18 squad before making his first team debut in 2012. He was quick, agile and became an integral part of the formidable attacking trio with Sturridge and Suarez, even earning the title of Liverpool's Young Player of the Year. Yet the so-called curse struck again, as only after 3 seasons at Anfield, Sterling left for Manchester City amid contract dispute. This era, marked by the academy's struggle to produce significant starting players, coincided with one of the darkest periods in the club's history. Liverpool struggled to compete for titles, managing to finish second just 3 times in 16 years, and often found themselves outside of the top 4 with finishes in 8th, 7th and 6th places. Cup success was equally scarce, with the club only securing the 2011-2012 EFL Cup during this time. However, this cycle of more lows than highs began to change with Jurgen Klopp's arrival in 2015, but it was only broken after the emergence of a certain player. While the club was struggling, there was a young boy who had been patiently honing his skills in the Reds youth system. So let us take you back to when it all started. In 2004, the club held a half-term camp for students from St Mary's College in Crosby. It was there that a young boy named Trent Alexander-Arnold participated. His skills with the ball didn't go unnoticed. Academy coach Ian Brarigan saw a bright future for him and approached Trent's parents, offering their son the chance to join the Liverpool Academy. And that's just the beginning. Trent excelled in every youth team he played for, earning the honour of being the mascot, walking out with Liverpool players at Anfield before games. His ability on the ball was evident, but he also displayed remarkable professionalism, calmness and a natural leadership quality from a young age, leading him to captain the under-16s and the under-18 teams under Pep Lijnders. By the time he was 16, he was heralded as the next big thing to come out of the Liverpool Academy. Even the Reds legend Steven Gerrard singled him out in his autobiography, predicting a successful career for him. However, given the mixed fortunes of recent academy graduates, there were concerns that Trent might not fully realise his potential. Thankfully, Steven Gerrard's prediction proved accurate. Trent's rapid development, mature demeanour and undeniable football talent led to his first inclusion in Liverpool's senior squad during the build-up to the 2015-16 season. He was brought into the first team by Brendan Rodgers for Liverpool's pre-season tour in the United States and made his unofficial debut in the tour's final friendly against Swindon Town. Soon after, he signed his first professional contract upon turning 17 13 in October 2015. Under Jurgen Klopp in 2016, Trent made his official first-team debut in an EFL Cup fourth-round match against Tottenham. Following his debut, he was rewarded with a new long-term contract and started the next EFL Cup game against Leeds, where he earned the Man of the Match award after recording his first assist for the club. By the end of the 2016-17 season, Trent had made 12 appearances in all competitions and was named Liverpool's Young Player of the Season, cementing his role as a vital part of Liverpool's future. That was the moment when the so-called academy curse was finally shattered. Here was a player who stepped up to the first team, making his mark not only with his technical skills, but also with his strong character. Trent's rise helped to usher the new golden era for the club. Liverpool captured its first league title in 30 years, reached 3 Champions League finals, winning in 2019, and added both an FA Cup and League Cup to its honours during this period. Impressively, Trent's trophy cabinet has already surpassed that of legends like Steven Gerrard. Moreover, he brings the X factor we've been talking about to the pitch. Whether it's delivering a game-changing pass from nowhere or scoring from a direct, precise free kick, his ability to distribute the ball, find runners, and split defences is nearly unparalleled. It's extraordinary for a right-back to contribute to over 100 goals in just 307 games. That speaks volumes about his generational talent. And we've seen, with Trent leading by example, other young players have begun to emerge, with this season being foolproof. Kelleher, Gerrard, Connor Bradley, Harvey Elliott, and Curtis Jones have all stepped up this season, proving indispensable when the first team was hit by injuries. Even Bobby Clark, James McConnell, Lewis Kumas, and Jayden Dan showed immense potential in the limited games that they played. What's even more exciting, there are still players in the academy pipeline who haven't yet had their chance to shine on the first team. Think about Ronell Young, Oakley Kamina, Lee Jonas, and many more potential stars who are not only being developed properly, but also being groomed to fit perfectly into the first team in the near future. No wonder the academy director, Alex Inglethorpe, boldly claimed in an interview with The Telegraph that the academy is home to £300 million worth of talent. It's no coincidence that Liverpool's struggles in the 2000s and 2010s coincided with a drought of homegrown talents. All it took was one player to break through, demonstrate his world-class abilities, and inspire others to follow suit. And that player was Trent Alexander-Arnold. Many might critique his defensive skills, but believe us, Trent is the type of player you build a project around. He doesn't just have the X factor, he is the X factor. This was the story of Liverpool's academy curse, from game legends like Fowler and Gerrard to years of potential gone unfulfilled until Trent revived it all. So, did you enjoy this tale? We hope you did. Do you think Trent was the catalyst for the revival of the Reds Academy, or do you have another theory? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you like this kind of video, let us know. We'll bring more stories in the future. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.